The Red Wings lose their home opener against the Columbus Blue Jackets 3-2 in overtime. I actually went to this game, the first home opener I've ever been to. Let's talk about the game. Of course, first game of the season, they try and put on some fanfare for this definitely not doomed, horrifying season that's coming up. They're going off their roster, which was actually one of the big stories of tonight. 4 of our defensemen were out. Green, Kronwall, Eriksson, Jensen, all injured, leaving all those spots open for our plethora of young rookie defensemen. I believe in total we had 5 rookies in, and we also had Joey Hicketts, only had a couple games last season, so really like 6 new players in the lineup. Rasmussen and N on forward, and Hicketts, as I mentioned, Chulak, Cholowski, and Hronik. So, how did they do? Well, right before the game, the opening face-off was taken by Henrik Zetterberg in a suit, not playing for the Wings for the first time, which was really sad. But it was a really nice moment, and the crowd lost their mind whenever he was out on the ice, and that was really nice. And we start this game against the Blue Jackets, which the opening was not great. The Wings did not look helpless out there, which is what you might expect when you put in 4 completely young and green defensemen. The scary part about this game for the future was that the young defensemen looked either as good or better than a lot of our veteran defensemen who are spending millions of dollars on. So that's a different story. But they looked not bad. They could have been worse. It's kind of going back and forth, especially in the beginning of the game. The Wings were dominating, and they were keeping it even shot-wise with the Blue Jackets, which would not continue. But it all kind of goes wrong. The Blue Jackets get a power play, one of many power plays in the game. Puck goes to the glass, delay of game penalty, crap. So cycling. The puck goes behind the net to Dubois, passes it out in front to Atkinson, shoots it, and it goes past Jimmy Howard. Great shot? I don't know. That goal is one of the things I was worried about watching the preseason, especially that game against Toronto. Jimmy Howard does not look the same. He just has been letting in muffins, and even though he ended up having an okay game, that was one of them, and it destroyed my confidence in him for the rest of the game. After that goal, whenever the puck went near the net, I just lost my mind. So, boo-hoo, everything sucks. And that's how we go into the first intermission, with the Blue Jackets starting, not finished, but starting to destroy us in shots. And the face-off die. I know the stats aren't exactly like this, 57% to Columbus and 43% to the Wings, but it feels like the Wings never won a face-off. So that was worrying. So second period starts up, and it's really more of the same. Columbus is just dominating the Wings, keeping us bottled up in their own zone, getting a lot of shots, just out-shooting us to hell. But we have good young players like Dennis Cholowski and Dylan Larkin. Puck gets dumped into the Blue Jackets zone. Gus Nyquist checks a defender. Larkin gets the puck in the corner, throws it in front of Cholowski, gets it, scores! Dennis Cholowski with his first NHL goal and a beautiful assist by Larkin. That was just an overall amazing play. And the LCA, which was pretty quiet, especially in the second and third period, we lost our mind. Cholowski, who I think had an amazing game. He was on the top pair all game. He did not look out of place. Second period continues, and it's scores tied. It seems to be even, but every time I looked up at the shot clock, Columbus was just way out shooting us. It was not great. Then the Blue Jackets score their second goal. So Cholowski has the puck, and he's making moves, dekes out one defender, and then loses the puck. And a 2-on-1 forms. Now the 2-1 is now a 3-on-1, because Josh Anderson is out of the box, Duclair has the puck, and Dubinsky is in the middle. DeKaiser is the only man back, literally, but right behind him, they're right behind Duclair, Glendening's there, Cholowski coming back, Nyquist is coming back. Duclair has the puck. Glendening really fast gets back to Duclair. He's giving Duclair all he can handle. But this whole thing could have been avoided because Duclair was covered. Glendening had Duclair. So DeKaiser's back there, and you think, okay, well, Glendening very obviously is like hunched over Duclair. Glendening has Duclair. So you would think DeKaiser should focus on one of the other two attackers. But no, he just kind of goes down, maybe to stop some kind of pass, but I'm not sure what pass he would have thought he was going to stop. Now, Duclair has taken himself out of the play. Glendening's out of the play because he was, covering Duclair. So now Josh Anderson and Brandon Dubinsky are streaking in with Chalowski behind, and Chalowski stops a little bit too late and sort of runs into Howard, so he's not able to do anything when Duclair throws the puck in front. It hits Brandon Dubinsky, who tries to get a shot on, can't really get it, and then Craig Anderson picks up loose change and scores. This whole goal could have been stopped in multiple places. So it's 2-1. And there's not much time left. Larkin and Nyquist both had assists on the first goal, and they both had assists on the second goal. Larkin is again in the corner. He has the puck. He throws it on. It hits Tyler Bertuzzi's skate, and it goes in the net, and Tyler Bertuzzi has a goal. Throughout the game, I was sitting next to these two hilarious Blue Jackets fans, and they were fully into it. Anytime anything happened, they were screaming. They started a lot of CBJ chants, even though they were way outnumbered by the Wings fans. They were legends. And they had nicknames for every single player on the team. We go to overtime, and I get free hockey. The first overtime, actually, I've ever stayed in person. So that was fun. Overtime happens, and the beginning of it is great. We get a 2-on-1, Nyquist shoots, and Korpisalo, who was amazing all game, stopped it. And about halfway through overtime, the Blue Jackets are heading ourselves into our own zone at 3-on-3. Panarin, Foligno, and some guy named Nudivara, I think that's how you pronounce it. They're in the zone, and they're cycling it. The Wings on the ice are Glendening, for some reason, who is in overtime, which I don't understand. Glendening, Mantha, and Daly. And it's rotating. The Blue Jackets are trying to find a shot, but the Red Wings are doing a good job of always having each person following a man. And then Nudivara takes it in the corner. Mantha follows. Nudivara passes up to Foligno, and Glendening's on him. Foligno leaves the puck for Panarin, skates to the left. Glendening follows Foligno, and Daly doesn't follow Panarin, leaving Artemi Panarin, the bread man, wide alone. He shoots, and the game is toast. Because bread. Well, the Blue Jackets fans next to us went crazy. I gave him a high five, whatever. It was a fun game as a fan to watch if you weren't worried about the team as a whole. Some notes on the game overall. The Wings got way outshot and outplayed, both in the eye test and the numbers. They got destroyed. That's also sort of what you have to expect when you play that many young guns. What was uplifting is that they looked really, really good. The four players who were, our four young defensemen. What is worrying, though, is that by far the worst defensemen on the ice were Trevor Daley and Daniel Kaiser, which are one, the players who are the oldest and should be the most experienced. Trevor Daley won a cup, and also the players who are being paid a ridiculous amount of money and can't be sent down. You think our defense is bad now? Wait till the other guys come back. And if Kronwall and Green and Eriksson aren't really, really good, this is going to be a ugly season on defense. But we have Chalowski. Chalowski should be in the lineup. After that one game, he needs to be in the lineup for the rest of the season. Jimmy Howard was better, but I'm excited to see Jonathan Bernier, who we can only assume is going to play one of the back-to-back games in California. And I will say, though, one player who I loved watching, Athanasiou, all night. He just had this drive to play ridiculously. and we just get these chances and almost score. Had a couple of after goals gone in, we might have won, but Blue Jackets have many more chances, and really they deserve to win this game. And hey, with that point we get in overtime, we are within 1 point of the playoffs, and we have a game in hand on the Bruins, so playoff race is going pretty good, I think. Just give us a couple more wins. But I have been Jacob, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time when we play the Kings.